I had a dollar.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Quick break, real quick break, but definitely wanted to go ahead and get that in so we can kind of transition before we go on to the next question that Dating Pool Diva is going to bring to us on the live line. We got Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J, his very own Miss Tony. What's up, girl?
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
We doing fabulous. How you doing?
I'm great.
What you got?
Yeah, about the whole open relationship thing. You guys were talking about, I know it kind of leaned mostly towards, like, having sex, but when I was in Florida, I actually encountered this guy who was absolutely gorgeous. We exchanged numbers and everything, and I found out he's married, has 4 children, and they have an open marriage. And his reason was, forever's a long time, and yes, he loves his wife, but, you encounter people every day who might have similar interests as you, that your spouse or your mate might not necessarily share. So, there were people he would hang out with, not necessarily have sex with, but, do things that his wife didn't really enjoy. So, I guess that's one aspect for it, some people who are okay with the whole open relationship.
All right, good deal, Tony. I appreciate your comment. We getting ready to move to the next question. If you got something on it, hit us back, girl. We're going to talk to you soon, all right?
All right.
Thank you, girl.
All I was going to say is that he doesn't need to be married, not being married myself, I would be very teed off if my husband, was, having casual dates or encounters with other females just because I don't want to watch the game with them or I don't want to have sex today. So that's a problem. Again, we're talking about relationships here, and marriage is commitment. That is a relationship that equals commitment. So I have a problem with that.
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate with you on that one. The way she set that up, and I'm guessing we all heard her and kind of interpreted it the same, but the way it sounded to me, they was both kind of in on that. Like his wife, like, all right, do what you gonna do, or else he wouldn't have been out there. So if that's the case, if they're both okay with that, the assumption is if she likes to go to the theater, he thinks that's some old bull, then maybe she out going and find Farnsworth Bentley to go to the theater with. So does that change your opinion if it's not just him, it's her too?
That to me, again, why be married? I mean, and you can't add years and months. I'm not going that way with you, Marcus. I'm just saying that if you and your spouse have been together for up 10 years and your wife wants to go to opera, she should be able to go with her girls or by herself. The same way that whatever you want to do, you should be able to go with your guy friends or by yourself, not with someone the opposite sex. To me, when you do that, in a way, it's kind of a subliminal cheating, if you ask me. You're kind of cheating on the side, but you're just trying to be innocent about it because nobody touching for the moment. So that's how I feel about it.
Dating Pool Diva, what you got on that?
I think I agree with Miss T. I think that if you're going to act single, be single. Why get married? Because being married has, rules to it. I mean,
Tax
honor,
break.
love, cherish, all that stuff they say in the vows. I mean, to death do your part. So don't do it if you can't handle it.
I mean, I'm not exactly wired that way, but if people can be wired a certain way, I'm not sitting here to say, hey, look, you're not supposed to do that. You do what you got to do. But my thing is, as long as it doesn't affect my world, I could care less what you do.
Let's jump into the next question, Dating Pool Diva. What we got, girl?
Okay, I have 2 questions that were previously featured at my last Strengthening Our Relationships forum. And I was so happy to see Miss T there and Marcus J there and Miss Tony. I really did love the support, and I'd like to see you guys out the next time.
Definitely.
Check my Facebook, Arthur Charisma, if you want to know the next date.
Definitely.
For the December 4th.
We had a good time. That's where we actually met, Miss Toyana, when we had an opportunity to fellowship afterwards. If I remember correctly, I said I got to have you on my show. I went right up to her, I got to have you on my show. And she was gracious enough to agree to join us. So definitely.
Thank you for coming. Okay, so this is the question that I posed. Since financial issues are considered to be the single most contributing factor to failed relationships, how should a couple address this potential problem before it becomes an issue?
Anybody?
I got it. I will not. I have a belief. Now, my
Anytime you start with "I will not," I get a little nervous.
my brothers my oldest brother told me, you know what? It doesn't matter what you come into a relationship with. It's something that you share. And I completely disagree. My thing is, it's one thing if you have like school debt. It's one thing if you have a little bit of debt. But my thing is, I feel like I should not have to bring my debt into bed with the one I want to be with. I don't think, one, that's fair, and two, it's real messed up because, I guess my thing is, if she's making the money and I'm not making as much as she is, or I'm making or whatever, I feel like the significant other should not have to bear the brunt of my stupidity, and vice versa. I just don't feel that. And I mean, I will probably not seriously get married until I feel like I have my stupid debt under control. It's not a lot, but it's just stupid debt. And I don't feel like she should be involved in my stupid debt. And that's just my personal opinion.
Carlton?
I believe in 3 accounts: a joint, my individual, and my super goddamn secret. That's all I got to say on that note.
No, I agree with that one, definitely. I remember, and I'll speak from history from personal history on this one. When we first came together, we had separates because that's of course we had separates, but then the more things we started to do together, whether it be paying bills, paying rent, and all of that kind of stuff, it just became easier to have one account. Yeah. Just ease, because before it was like, okay, I'll pay the rent this month, you pay it next month, and then you pay the electric bill. It just was kind of silly, to be doing that. And then you find that you have more money when you pool it, when you put it all together. Now, to kind of speak to what Carlton said, I absolutely agree with. You have your joint, you have his own and her own, or his and his, if that's how you get down, because
or hers and hers.
I travel a lot. Her and her, yeah. I travel a lot. I travel a whole lot, and my wife doesn't always come with me. And I'm not going to be dipping out of the joint account to take to take my trips. I go to Atlanta 3 times a year to hang out with KW to go see the Knicks, and I just came from Memphis last week. I go see the Yankees in Tampa. You know what I mean? I'm on the road a lot. If I'm dipping into the joint account, please, that's a bigger, like you said,
you get in trouble for that.
Like you said, like how you set it up. You want to have a fight. The biggest fight you're gonna have, it ain't gonna be because you got a girlfriend. It's gonna be because you spent the rent money. That's gonna be
exactly
your biggest fight, big bro.
I mean, my folks have. That's how my parents have it set up. They have the joint account for the house stuff, and they each got their own account because they each got their own separate bills. And I in my life have never heard them argue about financial, as far as the house goes and all that stuff. They got a paid off house. They got 2 paid off cars. And it's probably because of the way they did it. And if I were to get married, I would do it the same way, because it's not fair, once again, for one person to have the debt of the other. That's just my opinion.
Okay, spin-off. When should this be addressed? Let's assume that you are single. When should this be addressed into the relationship?
When you get in a situation where if I start thinking about, I'm thinking about getting this, I'm thinking about this woman being my wife, we gotta have that discussion.
You gotta have that talk. Absolutely.
Yeah.
As soon as you're thinking about trying to get together and merging your life with the person, whether you decide to marry them or not, if you intend to be with them in a long-term situation, then it's time to start talking about finances. We're not talking about 20, 30 years ago where everything was swept under the rug. We're talking about 2012. And I've been off the market for a little while, but I know that the last few years they starting to ask for credit scores and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
I have absolutely no problem with that, because if you would choose to engage, then you choose to engage.
Exactly.
But that is something that's very important to some people. And if your credit is, because I know what my credit is, and my credit's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm going to be down with you and your credit's jacked up, that's a choice that I'm going to have all the information to make.
You know, we're talking about credit, but realistically, when you dating somebody and you really into him, come on now, Big Rube, that's not the first thing you're gonna see is, oh, she got a big butt, but she got good credit. Hopefully you're not that type of guy.
No.
Everybody has their financial issues, whether you can have good credit but have terrible monthly budgeting skills, you know.
But
like you buy a $500 purse and only got $10 to put in it, but that's what you like to do.
Yeah, but you will find that throughout the relationship before you even get to the point where
course.
you're going to, if I ever decide that I'm going to marry somebody, I have an idea of how they spend their money just on how we work together. And then, you know, furthermore, I'm not going to sit here, I don't like surprises. So I'm not going to be like, I'm going to be like, yo, what's going on? Hey, look, when we think about taking it to this next level, we got to have this discussion. I mean, it is real.
Okay, what if you like this young lady and you have the 750 and she has a 250 credit score? Are you going to just say, nah, bye, boo boo?
Well, the issue is not the fact that you may have bad credit or you have bad choices in making money. The fact is, I don't like being lied to, and I'm not trying to marry you and find out you owe $10,000 to some dude in North Dakota. I mean, my thing is, if you come up front with me, be like, look, this, and this is it for me. Yeah, my credit sucks, yada, yada, yada. And then I can make that conscious decision to be like, you know, I love you, baby. We'll take care together.
Right. So let's just do some real talk. How many, again, you know, I love to do the male against the female since I'm the devil advocate on this one. But how many brothers are going to really come up to sisters like me and Miss K and say, you know, babe, I like you. You hot. My credit score 450.
And you know
Nobody's going to do that. No one is going to say that. They're going to put that cheap ring that they borrowed from their mom and daddy.
Wait a minute. Who said they had to take it from their mom and
daddy?
Hold on.
Why you take the ring from their mom and daddy by the loan, put it on our finger, and then while we get down the aisle and everything is locked, sealed, and you know, all together.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna find out. Not too many brothers are gonna come out and say their credit's jacked up.
Then he ain't a man. Straight up,
so
he's not a man.
Are you saying she's not a woman?
She doesn't come. If you can't have these discussions before you decide to go forward with your life, then that's called being an adult. You have to have this discussion. It's not the fact that your credit score may suck or whatever. It's the fact that knowing, you know what, you put everything out there, I put everything out there. Okay, I can make this conscious decision to be like, even though her stuff is jacked up, we can work on this together because I love her and I'm willing to do that. And that's the same thing a woman would probably want from a man, because no one wants to find out who's got great credit score that your man's credit sucks and find out at the last minute. You want to know before you go deep into a relationship. It's all about telling the truth. It's all about putting everything on the table, and it's all about doing it. If you can't do that, you're not adults, and you shouldn't be engaging in an adult situation.
I agree with that. I mean, that was kind of the essence of what I said earlier. You know, you want to have, full disclosure, and there's a time for it, and I guess that's the essence of what the question is. When is that time? But that time should not be when we get married and then we find it out, because that might be, a non-starter for me.
Big Rube, I just want to ask you, since you're so strong about this,
I am too.
Yeah, I agree. But he's a little bit stronger. Like, I have a little bass in his chest. I just want to ask you this.
I drew a couple of hairs right now.
I just want to ask you this. Okay, you do disease screenings, you do criminal background and drug and all that. Should you do that with the credit score and all the financial stuff?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never thought about doing a background check. I've never thought about doing a age test. I would think that in a relation, I've had a relationship where we were upfront about stuff. Now once again, I feel like I go to the doctor regularly. If I find like I have some, then we're gonna ask some questions. But this is way before I even consider a ring, because my thing is, I don't want to be marrying no crazy person. But my thing is, if you can't come to me like an adult and be like, yo, I was in the mental institute for 5 years, I'm gonna be like, why in the hell were you there? And then we need to have that discussion, because there are reasons for everything. should I have to go and do a background check? No. I would hope if
do one.
I mean, and that's fine.
I'm gonna do background, HIV, STD. You owe me. I'm doing it all before I run down the aisle wearing.
You give him your test results first?
Yeah, but I mean,
I have. No
I'm just
problem.
asking.
Yes.
Did you give him your results first?
Yes.
Okay.
And in fact, you should. You should want that the same way that if you telling some woman you divorce. And I ask you to see your divorce papers. The same type of paper need to be shown.
But once again, that's something I should be doing together. It's not something where you should go behind someone's back and do it. Because if you can't be real with the person you're gonna be in love with, that you're gonna be with, you're already messed up. You're not in a trust relationship. Because if you can't be real up front, how am I going to expect you to be real later? If you want to go get an AIDS test, we'll go together. If you want to do a credit check, let's pull it together. Because if I'm going to be in that situation with you and you have questions you want to answer, I'm cool, but we do it together. Because that's how adults do. Kids do it separate.
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion.
I mean,
not calling anybody a child, but if you're really into some dude or you're into some girl, if you can't come to them straight up, be like, look, no offense, I've had some BS in my time. I want to check you out. That's cool. And a real man be like, baby, you can check me out. How about we do this together?
So wait a minute. I'm not trying to cut you off. So, because it just came into my head. So, are you the type of man who would go ahead and just say, okay, let's just do a prenup? I mean, since we're doing real talk, I mean, I'm not trying to turn the tables on this because we talk about finances.
You got a real deal right here.
Finances here. Are you that type of brother, or are y'all? Would y'all be that type of brother to say, I like you, your credit messed up, you got jacked up teeth, whatever, and here, sign this prenup?
I've gone on record as saying if she makes more than me, I will probably create a prenup for her. And
that is something. And you
that's what men do.
You can roll your eyes all you want, but here's a real talk. I know this man for a long time, and he has always said that. He's always said it. And me personally, I get the whole love is for life and we get married for life and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, whatever. That's BS. Why not protect yourself?
Exactly.
And why shouldn't? And as a woman,
because if I married Oprah, let's not get it twisted.
Oh, it's a prenup.
I'm going to be signing a
prenup.
So what's the difference?
I mean, see, the thing about it is,
the difference?
And I'll be honest, I'm looking at your face, and you're just like, I don't believe this BS right now. But this is real dude right here. And I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm single, but you know what? I'm not gonna get married just for getting married. I want to get married because I love somebody. I don't want to abuse somebody. If they feel like they need a prenup just to protect them, here you go.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll roll out with the whack ass car, excuse my language, that I rolled in with, and I don't have an issue with that.
I want them to put that on Facebook. If y'all listen to this,
hey,
I want to see how many people will say yes to prenup or hell to the no.
I mean,
that's all I want to know.
But that's fine for them.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fine for them. But here's the thing. I don't understand what the big deal is with it. I never really have. I guess I look at it as a marriage to me, and I've always caught heat. My wife doesn't like that I say this. I don't really care that she doesn't like that I say this. A marriage, in a lot of ways, is a business. It's a business relationship. You have to go to court to get married and sign a contract with your business partner. Okay? So people don't like when you say it that way because you take all the gooey, lovey-dovey, all that crap out of it. But at the end of the day, it's a contract that you sign with your business partner. And if you want to sever the business relationship, you got to go back to court
to do it.
So, when you get married and you come in with certain assets that you feel strongly about protecting, then why not add one more thing to that contract? That's just me personally, and I don't think that it should have anything to do with gender. I think a lot of times the assumption is a man has a woman sign a prenup to protect him. That's the assumption.
Correct.
But for me, I ain't got no prenup because I was 24 years old and broke when I got married, and so was she.
And really, the problem is back in the day, men used to be the caregivers. Men used to make the money. So when you get to a certain level, you feel like you have to have one just so, you know what, I can go do some dirt and then she gets nothing. It's not even about that. For me, it's about, I love you. I don't want you to leave me. Also, I don't want a license to go out and do some dumb ass. To to me, a prenup is whatever. It's a piece of paper. But when it's all said and done, if that makes you feel better, fine.
Knock it
'Cause
out.
I don't plan on leaving you. I don't plan on cheating on you. I mean, because when I marry somebody, it ain't gonna be me who gets a divorce. It's gonna be her.
Miss K, would you sign one? Would you sign one?
I mean, she knows
I'm
what's up.
probably one of those people that would not be in agreement with it because I am a lovey-dovey, emotional person, and the very basis of a relationship is trust and respect, and all of that good stuff. And if you introduce a prenup in there, it's kind of like saying, "Oh, we're going to divorce, and you're going to try to take me for half. So let me go ahead and put this in there."
But the thing is, that's a choice that you're gonna have to make.
Yeah.
And see, me personally, I'm not the kind of person that has the kind of assets where I have, I'm in a situation where she came with what she had and I came with what I had, and what we have we built. But at 38 years old, if I was a single person and I built, an empire and became a millionaire, and I broke my neck and did all of this at 38 years old, and I meet Miss Wright at 38 years old, and I'm a millionaire, and she got bad credit. Hey, look, if you offended by it, that's a you problem. We can either do this or not. And I know that sounds harsh. I acknowledge that sounds harsh, but reverse the gender, and I feel the exact same way.
And you know what?
Same way.
And let's just be honest. Last time I checked, Virginia is half. California is half. In states like Texas and Florida, which is the head of household, which creates rules so the person who makes the most money gives nothing away. I could give a crap about how much money I make. I give a crap about how much money she makes. I want to be with the woman I want to be with, and I want us to go on trips, to have a big house, maybe have some kids. But you know what? When it's all said and done, if we can't live together, then we can't live together. I'm not about to go to court to sit here and fight for half of everything she made. That's stupid.
I'll be honest.
I'd probably give it half, especially if we had kids.
I'll be honest with you, real talk. If it ever came to that, you're just not getting somebody that's interested in fighting. I have no desire to fight.
Yeah,
just give me one Bob Marley CD and a car to get to work. You can have the rest. For real. Ain't no ass stepping with Marcus J. We gonna take. I know we've gone way over, but that's cool because that was some stuff we definitely felt like we needed to get into. So we're gonna take our final break of the night. It's gonna be very brief. Don't go anywhere. But then we got our rants, we got our closings, and you ain't trying to miss that either. Marcus J and I Step be back in about 1 full minute.
What's up, people? This is Franny Fran representing from Hoboken, New Jersey. Nothing ain't no half stepping with my brother from another, Marcus J on GlobalScaleRadio.net. Yes, heard.